Hey Lions, Tracey here with another craft project for you this week. We are looking at the story of Lazarus. He was a man who died from a sickness, and being a good friend of Jesus's, Jesus was very saddened by this news. And he used the situation to teach his followers, the disciples, and the people who were visiting a very important lesson about what the power that Jesus has over death. So for our craft today, we're going to be focusing on an insect that undergoes a dramatic transformation like Lazarus did, and that is a butterfly. So I'm going to show you a couple of different craft projects that you can do to create your own. The first one might be better for smaller hands and shorter attention spans. So we're going to do that first, and then I'm going to show you a more advanced project. For those of you who prefer to work with Lego, and I know a lot of our Lions prefer Lego, we have a video that's separate that shows you some ways that you can build a scene of the Lazarus story from your Lego. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is take a piece of construction paper. If you don't have colored paper, you can use regular white office paper. You're going to fold it in half so that the folded side is by your thumb. You're going to take your hand, place it on top of the paper, and then trace around it with pencil. And then we're not going to trace the wrist, so the piece that is open, we're just going to draw a line to connect those two. And then what we're going to do is cut the hand out all together. If you want to leave the butterfly joined together, then you can do that by not cutting the whole folded portion, just cutting a portion of it. But I think you have a little more control over your final project if you make two separate hands. This just shortens the time that we need to do that. Okay, then I'm going to go around and just cut out fingers around the fingers. Make that one rounder, and then this one. Great. So now I have my two hands, and so now we have the butterfly's body, which will go in the center, and then these can be the wings that we decorate afterwards. So we're going to lay them down on the table, and just use a bit of tape for this, or you can use a glue stick. Now you can either draw, draw the body on here and color it, or you can use a separate piece of paper to make your own butterfly body, which has kind of a pointed shape with a separate head. I'm just going to cut this freestyle. Then I'm going to use my glue stick and attach this. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is just cut the excess yellow from behind where I put the butterfly's body, just to tidy it up a bit. Now, if you want to, you can alter the shape of the wings a little bit by adjusting your hand cutout a little bit if you want to. So we have a shape that looks like that. So now what you can do is you can use markers, you can use pom-poms with glue, you can use stickers, whatever you want to decorate your butterfly wings. Now, the one thing that our little friend is missing is their antenna and some eyes. So what we can do is cut out eyes out of white paper, or if you have little tiny googly eyes at home, you can stick those on with some glue. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to finish this. I'm going to use some of this black paper to create some antenna. So just two thin little
little strips. And if you use your scissors carefully, you can hold one end of the paper in your finger and thumb, and then very gently curl the paper with the blunt end of the blunt side of your scissors to make something that looks a little bit like a fun antenna with a little bit of a curl in it. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is turn my butterfly over and use some tape or some glue to fasten those down. So, okay. Wait, this guy's backwards. There we go. That looks better. Okay.
So now you can decorate this one. As I said, put some eyes, and that is your pretty quick butterfly craft. The next one I want to show you is a little more advanced and is fun if you enjoy drawing and illustrating. So for the second butterfly craft, what you're going to do is take a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper and put it down in front of you. You're going to tilt it so it's like this. You're going to draw your hand, trace your hand lengthwise, okay?
So I'm going to put my hand down. I'm not going to put my hand right at the bottom of the paper. I want it more in the center because I need to leave room to draw the butterfly's body. So, like the first time, what you're going to do is trace your hand, but not the wrist. You're going to join up the space with a line.
So you get something that looks like that. What you're going to do now is turn it sideways so that the thumb is at the bottom of the picture.
So if it's facing me, the thumb is at the bottom and the rest of the fingers are sticking out this way. What I'm going to do now is take my imagination and draw a butterfly body with a pretty decent size head and a little sort of chest piece and then the body. And it's okay if it goes over part of the hand, and you're going to color this in later. Then what you're going to do is, because a butterfly doesn't actually have separations like this as distinct as fingers, we're going to draw an outline around the outside of the whole handprint to look like wings. And this is just freestyle. If you're confused, feel free to look online at butterfly pictures. You can do curves like this, or you can do sharper images like this. I'm just going to go around and join back up to the body.
So you get something that looks like this, or whatever it looks like for you. Then what we're going to do is add some color and detail to finish this picture off. And I have one here. So you can see that my handprint now resembles the butterfly's wing because I've added this extra outline. And I've added design and detail that was pleasing to me, and of course a pair of curly antennae. I've also added another little piece up here, which is meant to be the tip of the other wing. And you can decorate this however you like. I've used a combination of markers and pencil crayons and just freestyled a design, whatever colors you like. You can put in, words that are meaningful to you, names. You can decorate this however you wish. If you want to use colored paper, it has a slightly different look. So this one I did with some orange construction paper and used green on the outline. And then I glued it to, cut it out and glued it to a separate piece of paper and then drew the antenna on. So this is a nice way to do a kind of a keepsake type piece of art that includes your own handprint and design elements that are meaningful to you. And when you look at this piece of art, I would like you to remember that, as with Lazarus and the butterfly, there is new life after the life we know, and that is Jesus' best gift. If you would like to share your work with us, please take a picture or have your parents take a picture of your art and send it to me, and we will post it on our church's Facebook page group. I look forward to seeing your efforts. You guys are all wonderful artists. Same thing with the Lego. If you want to do a scene that illustrates the Lazarus story after you've heard the Spark story, feel free to send us a picture of it, and we will post it on the Facebook page. Take care.